the coalhouse door, lad. There's blood inside. Blood from broken hands and feet, blood that's dried on pit black meat, blood from hearts that know no beat. Close the coalhouse door, lad. There's blood inside.
Alex was born in 1935 in Gateshead, which is in the northeast of England. He went to the local grammar school, was really into theatre arts and singing. When he was there, they formed a choir called the Caprians, which was 1953, I believe. After grammar school, Alex headed off to Leeds University, where he studied French and German. Once he graduated, he headed off to Germany, where he spent his time teaching English. One of his methods of teaching English was to teach the kids English songs. That built up a bit of a reputation for fun classes, and word got out to a local producer who was recording a song for a German pop star called Nana Gualdi. They were looking for a singer, a male singer, to sing on a new song, which was actually a cover of an American song called True True Happiness. So my dad was invited to go and record on that. That song ended up in 1959, top 10 in Germany.
True, true happiness, das wünsch ich mir. True, true happiness, ein ganzes Leben lang mit dir.
When he actually got back to the UK, he landed a BBC job on the strength of just that single hit. His first BBC job was on Forces Radio. He then moved to a program called Voice of the North, where he would sing folk songs, interview people. Probably the most well-known work of Alex was when he was involved in When the Boat Comes In from 1976. The first series had various writers and it was extremely popular. He also sang the theme tune, which unfortunately was shouted at me every single day that I went to school. Alex worked again with Alan Plater in 1979 when they worked on K.M. Payton's books called Flambards, which were dramatised for TV. He then also did a maths programme for the BBC called Maths in a Box. Whilst Alex was working in TV, he also built up a bit of reputation as a songwriter and a topical songwriter from his work on Voice of the North. He put out a couple of albums by that point of local folk songs, and this came to the attention of a scriptwriter and a playwright called Alan Plater. Alan was writing a song about the coal mining industry called Close the Coalhouse Door, and Alex was invited to write the songs for the play. That play was a bit of a hit, kind of travelled around the place and really put him on the map in terms of political songwriting.
I'll sing you a song of Maggie Thatcher and the wonders she's achieved. I'll sing you a song and it won't take long.
From 1971 to 1976, Alex was in a BBC comedy sketch programme called Get the Drift. So Alex and Henry were performing the Northern Drift at the Edinburgh Festival, where they were spotted by someone from the Festival of Perth. So they were invited to perform at the Festival of Perth in 1980. Alex came here, thought, okay, this is the place I want. I hate Thatcher's Britain. And he came back home to the family and said, let's go, let's emigrate, let's get out of this place. He mainly worked here for the Australian Film Commission, helping people develop scripts and being a script editor. He was involved in writing a series called Kicking Around, based on a young football team in Fremantle. He was also an actor in that program as well. In the 90s, Alex and my mum Patty decided they were going to go off and live in Indonesia. They'd been travelling there a lot, had learned the language, both being linguists, and so they went off there to live and teach English. My dad woke up one day and he'd totally forgotten how to speak Indonesian. It was really strange. He came home. They both ended up coming home. They came back to Australia, had some tests done, and Alex unfortunately had some dementia in the front part of his brain, which affected language. It's called Pick's disease, and as that progressed, he got sicker and sicker, especially if you consider that losing one's language when you're a linguist and you love playing with words and writing, It's particularly painful. Kind of lucky for him, he had prostate cancer, which killed him pretty damn quickly, and he died in 2001, age 65.
She slowly passes. Little does she know that the secret she caresses has been guessed by every mother in the high street. Maggie hasn't noticed that she walks a little tilted, and the coat she's left unbelted offers only partial shelter from the sympathetic eyes that follow Maggie G along the high street. Maggie is excited at the movements deep inside her, but her eyes betray she's frightened oh so slightly.